destroyers I don't think can remove it anyway, so it is positive, but opponents should be able to dispel this. So basically, the advertising tech EMP AMS is 300 points of spell protection. This means that if you Stormbolt Acolyte with an anti-magic cell, and Stormbolt deals 350 damage, 300 would be blocked, and the Acolyte takes 50 damage. It also meant that if you use the Chimera that has magic damage, 300 points worth would be absorbed, and after that, it would go away and it would take damage as normal. The unadvertised hidden effect was that it actually changed the damage type of the Acolyte, of the unit. Normally, when a Chimera or a Destroyer attacks a Ghoul, damage type and armor type goes into effect. Heavy armor takes extra damage from magic attacks, and while they hide how much it is, I can tell you that it's 200%. So if a Destroyer with 20 damage attacks a Ghoul, normally that Ghoul takes how much? 40 damage. The Ghoul also has no armor, so there is no numerical reduction either. And we can actually show this by attacking this Ghoul with this Destroyer, though I'm not sure if it will work on the AMS Ghoul. We attacked the Ghoul, he took 40 damage as you can see. Regeneration is rapid on Blight, but is non-existent off Blight for Undead. He currently has 320 damage. We attack 2 damage, which is the exact double of 21. So, working as intended. Now, when we attack this Ghoul off Blight with AMS, if this was an enemy destroyer, it would definitely work. Now I'm actually not sure, because allied rules are sometimes different. He took 0 damage. But the question is, so it actually is working. The question is, so working as how much of the shield is left? This Ghoul, I don't think can remove it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be able to. And actually, we should test it with a new AMS, because this one is running out. It has a duration, and we can make some more statues on a second. Let's kill the AI. I should have started this game without an AI opponent, but we can just deal with them with this Ghoul. Alright, he has been sent away. Very good. So we reapply the AMS. Okay, so what we should expect, 420 divided by 40, is that he should take 10 hits from the Destroyer before the magic shield disappears. However, if what I just said is still active and true, then it will take 20 hits, because the armor type is ignored when there's AMS. So let's get 5 Destroyers to test this theory, and we'll see if it takes 2 salvos from each, or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more. So essentially, this is still true. A Ghoul that has heavy armor, that gets bloodily abused by Witch Doctors, Spirit Walkers, Destroyers, Chimera, Frostworms, and what have you, actually changes its armor type. So this is a very strong hidden mechanic of AMS that has always been in the game, is that it protects heavy armor targets from magic damage. There's no interaction where spell damage deals bonus damage on heavy armor, like from Stormbolt, Blizzard, and Flamestrike, but it is true for magic damage. The new what is the new armor type? Nothing. Neutral. Just, it is what it is. No amplification. So it is what it is. The new armor type is not changed to magic. Magic armor type doesn't exist. It just doesn't have any armor type. But yeah, so that's the good part of anti-magic shell, by the way. And now instead of 300, it would be 420. So you can actually see how strong that is, that it has been buffed in this manner. But the one thing that we did have recently, the last few months, is that AMS is now dispellable. That means an enemy can come in with a priest, and a priest will do 200 damage to summons with his dispel. So the priest can now come in, or 225 I think. The priest can now come in to 2 dispels and the AMS is gone. Whereas through most of TFT, AMS was undispellable. It was only breakable via the magic or spell damage. So this is a nerf. Mostly this change probably happened because of the undead human and the undead mirror matchup. I don't have enough data to tell you whether this has been a good change. So basically, the advertising tech EFT AMS is 300 points of spell protection. This means that if you Stormbolt Acolyte with an anti-magic cell, and Stormbolt deals 350 damage, 300 would be blocked, and the Acolyte takes 50 damage. It also meant that if you use the Chimera that has magic damage, 300 points worth would be absorbed, and after that, it would go away and it would take damage as normal. The unadvertised hidden effect was that it actually changed. So basically, the I haven't seen happy use instead of 300, it would be 420. So you can actually see how strong that is, that it has been buffed in this manner. But the one thing that we did have recently, the last few months, is that AMS is now dispellable. That means an enemy can come in with a priest, and a priest will do 200 damage to summons with his dispel. So the priest can now come in, or 225 I think. The priest can now come in to 2 dispels and the AMS is gone. Whereas through most of TFT, AMS was undispellable. It was only breakable via the magic or spell damage. So this is a nerf. Mostly this change probably happened because of the Undead Human and the Undead Mirror matchup. I don't have enough data to tell you whether this has been a good change. I haven't seen Happy use Magic Shell at all since the patch. So there really is just very little data set, if any, that is relevant to work with. But if it doesn't get dispelled, it is undeniably stronger now because of the hidden armor change mechanic. This ghoul should have been dead already. So I hope you enjoyed this little deep dive into anti-magic shell. My thoughts on this are, we don't have enough info yet. People aren't using it. Therefore, I like the buff. It's the first fun thing Undead got since the recent slew of patch changes that is demonstrably a big buff. I say, experiment with it, find out how useful it is. Dispel is fairly prevalent, therefore you may not get your money's worth out of it, but it will actually survive potentially more dispel damage than before. But what I like about AMS being dispellable is that you create a situation where it becomes play and counterplay. With AMS working in the old manner where you can't dispel it, no matter what,